Cool. Did you watch the Johnny Manziel doc?
I did. I watched it purposefully when I woke up from a little nappy nap, and I watched it earlier.
Today?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I what did I think? I didn't really know what to think. I laughed a little bit because in the beginning of the doc, you could tell that friend that he had growing up, you could tell that he was going to uh, have some sort of role in the downfall of it. But it made me laugh when, like, maybe 20 to 25 minutes in, he basically said, yeah, I'm way in over my skis here. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm 20 years old. like, like he just admitted straight up, yeah, he didn't know how to be this type of friend to a guy who's an absolute superstar. I do think it's a nice reminder. Well, not a nice reminder. It's a solid reminder of just how popular Manziel really was at that time. He was the biggest thing going. I was in college at that time, and he was just an absolute superstar. Like, everybody wanted a piece of Johnny Football. It was crazy when he was going through that at Texas A&M. Then I didn't really understand, though, like what we learned from the documentary, other than he had suicidal thoughts and suicidal intentions, and that's why he was spending all his money.
Yeah.
But everything else, you kind of saw it in the doc. But he's also that he's part of that age that's like in the up and coming social media superstardom. So everything he did was all over the internet. So it's not like there's much of a mystery as to like what he used to do outside of like, it's all of a sudden we're learning that Johnny Football was Mr. Party Animal after every game. Like, I didn't learn anything new about that. We all knew that.
Let me start by saying I have a lot of bias because I went to Texas during Johnny Football's time at A&M, and I hated him. Absolutely hated him for a lot of reasons, because he would kick Texas's. Well, actually, Texas, and that was the first year of the SEC, so they didn't play each other, so it doesn't really matter. But just you know, going to Texas, you hate Texas A&M, and half of my graduating class went to A&M, and Johnny Manziel just reminds me of all of the douchebags that I knew in high school that went on to go to A&M. I've seen guys like him all the time, and I laughed. I remember going to college when he got thrown out of the UT frat, and it's all based on him wanting to go to Texas and not getting in. And bias aside, I I do feel sad that he talked about contemplating suicide and all that stuff. Like, that's terrible. But watching the documentary, I didn't feel sorry for him. I just don't. Like, it's a story that's been told so many times, sadder degrees, from like guys like Ryan Leaf or Tom Marinovich. This guy was just a party animal that didn't want to be an NFL quarterback, didn't have the head to do it, and didn't have the talent to do it, and he was just kind of whiny. He expected his dad to help him out of every situation, like uh
Yeah.
whatever. I forget what happened in the documentary where he called his dad for his help, but he took advantage of his friend. They really didn't do a good job of getting into his problems when he went to the Browns.
Yeah.
Like, I remember him flipping off the crowd in the preseason game. I'm like, I would have loved to hear Josh Gordon as a interviewee in the documentary.
See, that's one to me that's way more interesting, though. I think the end of his story is still kind of being told right now, it seems. I don't know where he's at. I do wish he would have spoken to. Yeah, like just anyone from that
Well,
Browns team.
they were doing drugs together when they were on the Browns.
Right.
So I would have loved to hear that perspective. Cliff Kingsbury was funny to me. He was just like, "Hey, you're not going to tell Johnny Football to go to class when he's taking online classes, man. Like, we knew he was getting fucked up, but we just let it happen." It's like, all right, Cliff. And also, the Browns drafted him, like Mike Pettin and Ray Farmer, the people in charge at the time, when he showed up shit faced to a workout and his wide receivers were too fucked up to be a part of the thing, so he got his agent to catch passes from him.
Right.
Like, come on, dude. Like that should be a huge red flag. And also, you know who his agent is? Eric Burkhart, the guy that was in that documentary.
Kevin Burkhart's brother.
No,
Oh.
Kyler Murray's agent
Oh.
and Cliff Kingsbury's agent. So I'm seeing a kind of a correlation here.
Yeah. See, that was also my takeaway is it's a classic case of the star not helping himself, not having the people around him
Yes.
to help. It's like Kingsbury's just like, hey, well, if you're going to party, just do good on the field.
Yeah.
And he's a coach. He's not going to control what the he's not going to control what the what a football star does. Like
Right.
you can't control him like that. But I think coaches can have something of an influence. I mean, we heard everything with the Cardinals locker room when Cliff Kingsbury was gone. Since Jonathan Gannon took over, it's just they actually have some order around the place, which you do need, even though they're professionals. Like that's how Cliff Kingsbury probably led him on to a Texas A&M. Didn't have any help at all. Didn't help himself. But you're right. I didn't feel that much either. Like I remember thinking after the Manti Teo doc, which I needed a fresh reminder on it. And with actually having the Lene Kukua, the person who faked it, like with having that person, it was enlightening, I guess, is a word to use maybe. And it made me feel for Manti Teo in a time when a lot of people made fun of him. But
Yeah.
for Johnny Manziel, it's just a story of a guy's rise and a rise to about as high of a mountaintop as you could possibly get to. Like he went to Mount Everest.
Yeah.
Literally, because there's also snow on the top of Mount Everest and he got involved in the snow probably. But like the fall, I don't know. It just I don't know, man. I didn't really it just kind of ended. It seemed like they had a story and then all of a sudden it's just well, you know, I regret a lot of my life as I'm sipping on a Stella Artois out here in my backyard playing ping pong and beer pong. Like I regret a lot of my life.
In a
Still love
beer in a beer bong with his buddies. Like at the same time, like we're all supposed to feel sorry for him, but like, did he learn anything? Like, did he go to rehab?
no. No, I mean he
He,
did, but I don't think he learned much because he's still drinking and like he's just living it up like a guy in Arizona. I don't know. There's plenty more stories that are untold that need to be told. I don't think the Johnny Manziel one was really one of them.
no, because I don't think that he's a sympathetic personality. I really don't, and I understand that he came close to suicide, and that's very sad. But I don't think that you come out thinking anything differently of him. I think that there's so many things that he's done, like talking about like the abuse with his girlfriend, and that just goes away. Like he just kind of like nonchalantly, like, yeah, you know, it was a bad thing to do, blah blah blah. Like I want to say even Joe Thomas or Paul Kruger, whoever it was, had to drive off the side of the road because he saw Johnny Manziel yelling at his girlfriend or something. It's I know I sound biased because I had my feelings about him when
No,
when I watched him, but I don't feel sorry for him. I don't.
I don't think anyone does. Like to be honest, one thing I was listening to that part of my take, and like you know, they said they were about to do a review too, and they basically said like they talked about how good it was, but like
It's
I
not
watched
that
it, I'm
good.
like, it's not that good.
No, it's Manti Te'o's doc was way better than this. Like you actually felt sorry for Manti Te'o. With Johnny Manziel, he just seemed like a spoiled little kid, and the fact is he wasn't. He made that lie up.
Yeah,
Like, and I get it. Like athletes, college athletes want to get paid for the the universities just taking advantage of them financially, and I get that. Johnny Manziel was huge. He was the biggest name in college sports, and his jersey was going for millions of dollars. I get that. He should be able to get the benefits of that. But at the same time, his work ethic sucked. He treated his friend like shit once he got to the NFL. His own father told, I remember this and being a huge red flag going into the draft. He he told people like his son is an alcoholic.
yeah,
It's kind of factual, or I mean, he would know he's his dad. And then in the end, he calls on his dad to help him in the end, and then they have a good relationship now. But I remember when he was coming out for the draft, and it was the same draft as Jadavian Clowney and Khalil Mack and Blake Bortles, and this guy, he got a lot of hype. I remember some people in the Bay Area saying this guy should go to the Raiders, or this guy should be the first overall pick. And I don't know, his whole, like, I never root for people to fail, but I knew this guy was going to fail. It was the most cliche ending to this whole thing. It really was.
Who wanted Johnny Manziel to go to the Raiders? There was a draft
Guy
analyst.
Haberman, Damon Bruce.
No, there was, well, maybe, but
I remember.
there was a draft analyst though. That's right. I think Gruden was one of them. Oh
Well,
man,
Gruden wasn't. I mean, Gruden was in love with, like, whenever he was on draft coverage, any quarterback available in the draft, he was like, "Now here, I'll tell you what, man. I drafted this Johnny Manziel guy. Like, hey, the Raiders got Khalil Mack. Whatever.
yeah.
There's a guy named Football at the end of his name. Now how are you gonna pass that up?"
I could tell right away too when the friend said, you know how athletes have a diet and a regimen? That doesn't apply to Johnny Football. Like that didn't apply to Johnny. Yeah. Unless you're Shaq, who can just show up fat and just dominate. Like you're not Shaq.
You mean DJ Diesel?
DJ Diesel, yes. He's not
Outside
really
lands.
he's not really a DJ. If you want to really take the prototypical person who just clicks buttons, that's all Shaq does. He doesn't do anything. but like immediately I'm like, athletes don't always have that sort of diet, that the strict regiment that they have. I'm like, yeah, they do. A lot of these successful ones seem to have something strict that they can rely on so that they're fully healthy and ready into the season. Like everything just seemed to go wrong for him. And I came away from it just not feeling any differently about him. I don't feel like I learned too much, except for he really was down deep. But other than that, like, it's Johnny Football. Like, everyone knew the story of Johnny Football.
There's so many documentaries out there now for Tom Brady and, Man in the Arena. We just watched the quarterback one on Netflix with guys that work hard, and Patrick Mahomes and Kirk Cousins, even Marcus Mariota a little bit. And then you see this, and you're like, this guy was given an opportunity, and he like showed up hungover or passed on the Manning Academy, and you're like, people would die to be in his position. And we're just supposed to feel sorry for this kid that got fame and just didn't want to do anything with it, didn't want to work hard, just wanted to party all the time. Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really I didn't come away from it too much thinking about anything.
Nah. I again, it's very sad that his life went that way.
Right.
And I don't wish that on anybody. But he was given a golden opportunity and he screwed it up. And in the end, I don't feel sorry for him.
There's another guy who had a really short-lived football career. It was an untold story.
I would rather watch that.
I'd rather watch one of Andrew Luck. I remember the Stanford story. Okay, I don't know what impression. I'm starting to go with something totally different. But
yeah, you sound like Jimmy Stewart.
I do a little bit. Oh, Andrew Luck. His jersey was sold in the Stanford store, and he didn't get any of the money.
No, why you gotta play that damn piano right now? Oh, Daddy, why?
I don't know why I started turning Andrew Luck into Jimmy Stewart, but I'm interested in that. I don't know. Johnny Manziel, I didn't really need to. Didn't really need it.
I don't care. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to bring up, Steven? You see Dave Fleming was the ball boy tonight?
And they'd see Dave Fleming was the ball boy tonight. The Giants are certainly reeling right now. Their offense doesn't have nothing for the past month and a half.
Hey, it could be worse.
What?
I mean, the Rays are kicking their ass right now.
Yeah.
But at least the Giants don't have to answer to Wander Franco.
This is true.
Whoo.
Yeah. That story's wild.
Yeah, I'll say so.
Yeah, like
is this guy just going to be like Deshaun Watson the rest of the season, and we're just not going to see him again?
I don't know. Like the instant I saw that story, it's amazing how something just as simple as one quick push notification that you read, and you read the words that Tampa Bay Times reporting that Wander Franco is taking time away from the team as MLB investigates Twitter posts that allege he had an inappropriate relationship with a minor. Instantly, it's like, okay, Wander Franco, you're no longer that former number 1 overall prospect turned star with the Rays. You are now Wander Franco potentially dating a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Not good. Not good at all.
And
But I'm
then
sure.
the
But I'm sure somewhere Carl Malone's like, well, thank God I didn't play during the internet era.
then jeez.
Too soon.
A little bit, yes, because we also don't know everything. These are just Twitter allegations from someone on social media who claims.
Okay, Mr. Reporter.
I'm just saying.
I
But also, like, I don't know if you saw the national reports, but they kept away from actually mentioning that it was with the inappropriate stuff with a minor because that wasn't completely confirmed by their sources. So they just said he's taking time away from the team, going on the restricted list, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they just casually put in the middle of every report just one line. By the way, the Rays had a giveaway that it was hat night for those who are 14 and under attending at the game, which it was.
Oh my God.
It was on the same day. Yeah.
That's terrible timing.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Good Lord.
Terrible, man. Terrible. I hope these things are. I mean, if it's true, then I hope it's treated way different than Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah.
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 I mean, I wish the Deshaun Watson thing was treated differently. I wish a lot of things in the NFL were treated differently. We've all kind of just forgot about them and don't mention them ever again. But
well, they do. Like you and I were talking the same night that the Hall of Fame game was going on.
Yeah.
And Chris Collinsworth pretty much talked about what you and I talked about.
Yeah.
We're just like, oh, how do we cover the football guy, but also bring up the stuff he's done? And I think it was a fair point. Like it's always going to be with him. Like, does it need to be brought up every time he plays an NFL game? No, but it's going to be always synonymous with his reputation as an NFL player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that might be the worst thing of all. Well, for them.
Yeah, exactly. Anything we could bring up to end this on a lighter note?
Not really.
Well, that seems like a downer. Shit.
It is a little bit of a downer, but you brought it up.
Well, somebody in the chat here said they saw AJ Cruz said they watched the movie I recommended a couple weeks ago. They cloned Tyrone. It's a good movie.
So I logged into the Netflix. I just tried it because I got it logged into the TV. It's on Netflix, right?
Yes.
So I logged into the TV to try it out just again because I'm logged into my brother's. But and I'm seeing to bring up the Luis Medina play. All right, I will. But anyway, the Netflix thing, it's signed back into my brother's. I was using a different account, signed back into it, no problem. So maybe I'll try to watch it without even trying to get a new Netflix account. And the Luis Medina thing, that's not nearly as bad as what happened on Sunday. Like the Luis Medina thing, all right, that's just a boneheaded play. But yesterday,
you get what you pay for with the A's. I'll say that.
Giving up 6 runs in the 9th to give up the lead and the loss.
For who?
The A's against the Nationals yesterday.
Oh. Dude, I don't even pay attention anymore.
They got something in Zach Geloff, man. That rookie. Hey, look up Carl Buszczyk's Twitter. He's all over it.
Oh, I believe me. When I need some A's news, I always go to Carl Buszczyk.
He is unleashed, my friend. But Zach Geloff is an absolute beast.
Unleashed.
Yeah. Zach Geloff's an absolute beast. But like, I don't know how A's fans would feel about that right now. Like, how would they even feel about their team? I almost feel bad for him because he's off to probably the hottest start that any A's rookie has ever had. 8 home runs, I think, through 24, 25 games or something, which he already eclipsed like Matt Chapman, Jose Canseco, Yoenis Cespedes, like the most home runs through 22 games. Pretty sure his 8 home runs through 25 are already a record. But no one even really cares too much right now because the A's aren't a good team and they're likely leaving. So anyone you're calling up right now probably A, won't be that great until they get to Vegas, or B, likely to be traded.
Yep.
Like that's how it goes, or just gone through free agency. But that's not going to happen with these guys because they won't have that much service time. But yeah, you get where I'm going.
Yep. Makes you wonder, why should we even watch?
Yeah. Luis Medina jogging the first, though, that was pretty bad. I mean, you're right, skills. It was, he showed a real lack of skills. I hope in your skills report, you reported that Luis Medina didn't use the skills that he possesses.
By the way, that guy's name is Skills Report, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if Steven hit that hard enough, but Skills Report.
yeah. Report on the skills.
Yeah.
I love Skills Report. He's
Uh,
given us more mention on Twitter than anyone.
oh, I
Shout
love
out
it.
to the Ernies. The Ernies have been here since the start. They're the OGs for sure. But Skills out here tagging people?
Yeah.
Come on. They saying we talk about a wide range of sports topics? Love that.
We do. We do. Appreciate the
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Although Ernie too going to Levi's tonight, not being a part of the show. Kind of, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I don't know about him anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about that guy. Yeah, I looked
No,
it up.
no, no.
I guess Carol G is performing at Levi's Stadium, so I just Googled Carol G, and the last thing I saw
Any relation
was
to Kenny G?
no relation to Kenny G.
Ah,
Actually, it is. It's just it's just Carol G is just like a woman who plays like the tenor saxophone on stage. Just Kenny G's cousin.
yeah.
I like that.
Couldn't get Kenny G tonight, so we got a Carol G fill.
We got Carol G instead. Oh, I like that.
You expecting Kyle Harrison to be brought up this week?
I don't know. I don't know.
Warren G, the regulator. Oh, rest in peace, though. Wait, is Warren G still around?
Warren G's still around. Yeah.
Okay, it's
He's
Nate
still
Dogg.
with us. Yeah.
It's Nate Dogg. That.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Anyway, you see your guy Mark Matthias on Friday?
I did.
I saw you at the public house. You want to say hi to your old friend?
Yeah. Yep. Got a chance to see him, talk to his family. It's good to catch up.
Did he get sent down today?
And he got sent down. He ended up getting sent down today.
It's good you saw him while he was still around.
Yes. No, I mean, regardless, man, seeing a guy that you grew up playing Little League with and were family friends with, and you knew since the start that he'd become a professional baseball player, and he's doing it with the San Francisco Giants, and you get to, and I know I'm like dropping here, but like I'm credentialed so I could go and say hi to him on the field. You know how much like a full circle life moment that was? Because he was always the one, standing out on the field. I was just talking a lot. So, we're in our rightful places.
I'd say so. I mean,
him in Major League Baseball and me talking.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's not like your boy Robert Turbin, but it's close.
Yeah, well, Turbin not really my boy. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I guess
you guys were thick as thieves, best friends.
I mean, not like that.
Squatting each other on the bench.
No. No. 225, 28 times Robert Turbin at the combine. Never forget it.
Yep. It's all because of you.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. All right. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody out there. The Ernies, AJ Cruz, the Skills Report, everybody that wastes their time listening to us. Thank you. Steven, we'll be back on Sunday.
Yep.
We'll review the next preseason games. And I got to find a new thing to be crazy about. Dalvin Cook's already signed. What I got to look forward to? I guess just actually games being played.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's a change of pace for me.
Yay.
Anyway, thanks again to everybody. We'll see you next time. Steven, say what you always say.
Hey. Just your opinion, man. How did I turn him into Creed?